Hello, Chain Gang. Welcome back to the 4 Chains and the season finale. I don't know if it's season, it's just 4 videos, but day 4 of my 4-day poker odyssey at the Lodge Poker Club in Texas. Yesterday was one of the craziest poker days we ever had. Doug Polk did what he admitted was the dumbest thing he'd ever done in his entire life. It left him bloody as hell. It was all my fault. You can check out that video. Day 4 was not quite as crazy, but there was definitely some craziness, including one hand I'm going to hold a contest for this 4 Chains t-shirt. I know it's the most sought after t-shirt in the world. 4 Chains on the front. Life is not a dress rehearsal on the back. And it is going to go to the person who has the best analysis of this particular hand. But half of these were like crazier than if you think James Harden is going to help you in the playoffs. Is that one good? Oh, I suck at these analogies. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm playing 1-2. It's the first hand. I wake up with King, Queen of Spades. I raise it up to 10 in mid position. I get 3 callers. Okay, fine so far. The flop comes Jack of Spades, 10 of Spades, 2 of Diamonds. I want you to know I've never hit a royal flush. I have been on a few royal flush draws, and certainly it's a high flush draw either way. If I'm going to hit a royal, I want it to be for a big hand. Let's see what we can go. I bet $20. I get 1 call and 2 folds. Maybe I should have bet 15, I don't know. The river is a 4 of hearts. I'm still on a draw, but I see, look over to Sack, he's only got $35 behind. I go all in. He calls me. The river is a 7 of clubs, and he turns over ace-8 and takes the pot. Did I play that wrong? Sometimes, like, a hand is over and I lose, I immediately assume I made a mistake. That's called playing results. I don't know. I thought I did it well. Maybe there was no chance he was going to fold and no chance I was good. Let me know in the comments. But this next hand is crazier than if Travis Kelce feels that his relationship with Taylor Swift is gonna last. God, I'm just gonna stop. Okay, well, this is the one I'm turning into the contest. Now, the contest is, I want you to comment what you think he had pre-flop, what you think he had after the flop, and what you think he had at the turn. The contest is not to predict correctly what he had. The contest is to most accurately guess and the best explanation as to why you think these are the hands he had at those stages. So let me go through the deal here. The villain, I won't call him a villain because he's a nice guy, but I could tell he was slightly impaired when he got to the table and it's like 11 a.m. and he sits down and immediately orders a beer. Okay, I like playing against these people unless they're angry drunks. They're usually not, they're usually funny drunks, and they usually give me their money. It's a great combination. My first hand with him is the one you're going to evaluate. He's in the small blind, okay? There's a straddle on of $5. That gets 2 callers. So there's already $18 in the pot, and I look down at pocket kings. I raise it up to $55. I want to build the pot without scaring people away, but I definitely want to flush out all the garbage aces. And guess it works. Everybody folds except my slightly inebriated friend in the small blind. He calls. Okay, he calls. So the first question is in the comments, what did he have? He only had $1 committed. He's in the small blind of a 1-2 game. He has to pay $54 more to see the flop. So what is his, I don't want you to predict his cards. That's crazy at this point. Tell me what you think his range is. Obviously, he could have aces. There's always that debate as to whether people should or could slow play aces. You shouldn't, in my opinion, but it happens all the time. He could have them. But how much wider is his range? The flop comes King, 8, Deuce, Rainbow. This is obviously a dream. I have top set. He checks. Now, as a rule, if I am first to act in a situation where I have top set on a rainbow board, I just don't think about it. I always check. Jonathan Little says you shouldn't check monster hands. I'm sure he assumes there's some exceptions. Maybe this is one. But I just feel like my experience tells me I have it crushed. What could somebody have? Not a whole lot. In this case, he checks first. Now, the reason why that's different is if I'm first to act and I check, he might bluff. Now that he's checked, he isn't going to bluff, and I want to build the pot. So, you know, I go ahead and I bet. I bet, and you know, $75. That's it. I had it written down here. Sorry, I had to look. Hoping he has pocket eights, pocket deuces, or, you know, an ace. Ace king would be great. He called the $75, so that narrows his range to one of, I would assume, one of the hands that I am hoping for. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think he has when he calls a $75? He called $55 pre-flop, $75 after the flop. What do you think he has? Okay. The turn is a jack of clubs. So now I have top set, and I know nobody's going to accidentally hit a flush. So that's great. And then he moves all in. I have the second nuts. No, wait, I have the stone cold nuts. So I snap call. What does he have? What would he move in on after the jack of clubs? My reaction when he first went in was ace jack, but you know, I guess he could have pocket jacks. I wasn't thinking about that before. Pocket eights makes more sense. I don't know. But now's your last opportunity to comment. What do you think he should have here and why? I turn over the nuts. Keep in mind, you don't have to get the hand exactly right. He turns over pocket jacks. Oh, wait. He turns over 10-7 offsuit. What? I will give you a minute to think about it. Pre-flop, he called a $55 raise with 10-7 offsuit. The flop comes, he hits absolutely nothing. And he calls $75 and then moves all in with the jack. What in God's green earth? Okay, the river obviously was a 9 and I lose all my chips. I look over at him, he didn't feel that uncomfortable, which is weird because obviously he has a horseshoe up his keister. A rebuy for $100 because there's a bomb pot coming up. I was about to leave, but I'm thinking I could make all my money back. This is what I get in the bomb pot. Obviously no flop hits this. It's trash, I'm out of there. I get king, queen off. There's an all in, I fold. I get pocket sixes. I see the flop, but both callers outflop me. They wound up having to show their hands after I had folded. I had a hand where I get pocket jacks. I mean, jiggities in a casino that Brad Owen has partial ownership in and is physically present in at the moment. That's like aces. I raised to $20 in the button. I get 3 callers. It's checked to me after the flop. There's straight and flush draws out there.
Oh, sorry.
I bet $70 and I take it down. Maybe this is the start of a turnaround. The next hand, there's a $5 straddle on. I raised $20 with ace jack and only the big blind calls. The flop comes jack 9-9. I have 2 pair and top kicker. I bet $75 and he raises all in. All in is only $45 more, so I call. And he turns over, you're not going to believe it, maybe you will, 10-7. How could this be? I'm actually elated, other than the PTSD, until an 8 comes on the turn, and I lose to 10-7 off for a second time while I was holding a monster. I should have left, but I rebuy, I split a bomb pot. Actually, I think I split the next bomb pot too. You should know at the lodge they have tables that are only bomb pots, but that's the kind of thing I feel like I could get into a free fall disaster in, so I didn't even consider playing. I did win a hand with a set of 9s when there's a club flush draw. I feel good about that read. I correctly guess he didn't hit it. Then there's this hand. I'm in the big blind with 8 deuce offsuit, so obviously I am folding, except it is limp to me. Now, you know I like to punish the limpers. Everybody should punish limpers, but I don't think you're supposed to punish them with 8 deuce off, so I check. The flop comes 4, 7, 8. I have top pair. This is the kind of reason why I don't call even a teeny raise with 8 deuce offsuit or 7 deuce offsuit or 8-3 or 2-3 off, because then when you hit a piece of it, you feel like now you have something to win. Well, do I here? I bet $25 I get called. Maybe I'm into a world of hurt here until the turn comes an 8. Holy cow, I have top set, bang, as Wolfgang would say. This guy bets, what a sucker. I move all in and he calls? Okay, I'm not real scared of the call because this guy has already hit 7 flushes while we're there. 6 of the 7 flushes were spade flushes, so I assume he has 2 spades. But then, of course, I'm like, well, this guy always hits his flush. Nope. I got that wrong, too. He actually has the last remaining 8, and I am outkicked worse than if I played Lionel Messi one-on-one in soccer, which, by the way, I still have not done. Okay, that's it. I get the message. No reason to head to the cashier. I have no chips, so I have to head home, but that doesn't diminish what a great trip this was. I mean, to review, Brad Owen was more than gracious. He was gracious to everybody. Everybody that said they had interaction with him raved about him. Doug Polk might have lost $500,000 and bled all over his business, but he handled it like an adult, and he was a great sport. If you missed that video, it's day 3. The bottom line is I only bought in for $300. I never had to buy in again. I left with $1,720 despite losing a ton on the final day. It's still a profit of $1,420. I'll take it. I can't wait to head back to the lodge. I recommend you making this trip as well. There's one last feature I'd like to talk about, and that is there's no rake in the cash games at the lodge. Instead, you pay $11 an hour for your table time. If you do the math, that is certainly better for the player. So good luck to you if you're headed to the lodge. If you were there while I was there during this mini monster, please add any stuff I missed in the comments. I've got some more poker coming eventually. I will be playing the World Series of Poker this summer, raising some money for St. Jude's. So if you want to hear future videos, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on The 4 Chains.